Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Step Chat here at the Floatress of Solitude, with a somewhat floating bag in the shot. There we go. How you doing? For those of you that have not had the pleasure yet of meeting, my name is Stephen Jones. I am the executive director of Float and of Aloft, and I don't know why it seems like I'm looking at this weird thing, but there we go. So hi, good to see you all. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for joining me once again on a Sunday. And if you're watching on replay, either on Facebook or on YouTube, welcome and thank you very much for taking the time to join us here at as we explore the floativerse, so to speak. So there we go. With that being said, let's get on to tonight's presentation. The biggest thing coming your way, as I just talked about a few minutes ago, we are roughly 4 months away from Float 2026. Things are going to start getting very hairy very quickly. The biggest bit of Float news that you need to know about, of course, was the fact that October 1st has come and gone. With that being said, the registration rate for Float, the U.S. domestic price for academic attendance, has now increased to $7.95. Now, the good news is this price point is locked in for the next 3 months. So you don't have to worry about it going up again until January 3rd. But I just want to make sure that you are aware that things are going to get hairy pretty quickly. Because again, we have about 4 months left. There is a rumor that there might be a coupon code coming your way soon. But tonight, I want to take a moment, and we're going to come back on this too, but tonight I want to take a moment to let you know about some very, very important dates that are coming up that you need to know about, regardless of whether or not you are registered for Float. First of all, the first big date that you need to know about is December 1st. If you want to be guaranteed the free Float t-shirt and your tote bag at the convention, chock full of stuff. If you want the complimentary tote bag and the t-shirt, in order to be guaranteed one, you must be registered by December 1st. The next date we got to talk about is December 15th. This is the last chance you have to cancel your registration for Float and still get a refund, okay? This is important because a lot of people are like, when can I do? I don't know if I can go or not. I need to cancel. Wait, if you're not sure if you need to go, or if you're not sure you can't go, then you should wait because you have all the way until December 15th to make that decision. Because remember, if you cancel now and then it turns out you can come, whatever rate you had before is gone. You will have to re-sign up again at the new rate. There is another important deadline for December 15th, and this one I misspoke on last week. I was wrong. The last chance to purchase a flotation pass is December 15th. So again, if you would like to register for the flotation pass, your last chance to register for that is December 15th. On December 16th, the flotation passes will close, okay? Period. So please make sure you take advantage of that before then. The next date you need to know is January 2nd. This is a big date for a lot of things. January 2nd is the last chance for you to get the international rate to attend Float. So if you are living outside the continental United States, that means if you live in Alaska, if you live in Hawaii, if you live in any of the U.S. territories, or for that matter, any other country, you could live in Canada, you could live in Mexico, you could live in Uruguay. I don't care where you reside. If you wish to attend Float and sign up at the international rate of $5.75, your absolute last chance to enroll at this price is January 2nd. On January 3rd, that price jumps to the regular rate, which is $8.95. And again, tough tacos, that's the date. You've had a year. If you are attending Float in general, the last date to get the $7.95 price point is January 2nd. Again, on January 3rd, the price goes up again to $8.95. That applies to everyone. The other deadline of January 2nd is that this is the last chance for you to sign up for our foundational training. So if you're a newbie and you want to take advantage of the $550 price point for the foundation program, your last chance to sign up for this is January 2nd. Now, remember, this is contingent on whether or not the program sells out. So there's that. So keep that in mind when it comes to the foundation program. January 5th is the last day that the Grand Sierra Resort and Casino will be accepting discounted room rates. Okay. So in other words, you have until January 5th to book a discounted room at Float. If you wait and you're trying to get a room you're stuck with whatever they're going to give you. Also, January 5th, if you are hoping to attend Float and you want to get the benefits that go along with being an Aloft member, like VIP access to the vendor showcase and reserved seating at the gala and some other stuff, and not break the bank with a flotation pass, then you need to get signed up for Aloft by no later than January 5th. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot on Sunday the 25th join Aloft at 7 a.m. and then expect to get into the vendor showcase at 9 o'clock. We ain't doing it. Remember, this year you're signing up for your general classes in advance. If you are a flotation pass holder, Wednesday, January 7th will be the day you are allowed to start enrolling. If you are an Aloft member, the next day, January 8th, you will be allowed to sign up for your general enrollment classes. And if you are neither a member of Aloft nor a flotation pass holder, then general class enrollment will open for you on Float Friday, which is January 9th. Your last opportunity to pre-enroll at the early rates of master classes and bonus classes is January 12th. Now, remember, this is not the flotation pass. This information here pertains to individual master and bonus classes. Remember, the rates of these classes are lower if you buy them in advance. If you wait till the convention, prices go up. Master classes are $99 each. At the convention, they are $125 a piece. In advance, bonus classes are $25 each. At the convention, they're $35 each. Your absolute last chance to enroll in any way, shape, or form for Float 2026 is Saturday, January 17th. The reason for this is simple. I get on a plane 3 days later. We're done. We're not taking people at the door. So those right now are the big. Now, obviously, there's going to be more dates that are coming at you soon. For example, once we start talking about competitions, those dates will be coming towards you. The Floaty Awards, those dates will be coming out soon. So there's all kinds of things like that. But this right now, these are the dates that you need to know in the here and now, regardless of whether or not you're attending Float or not. So if you haven't registered yet, I highly recommend that you get at least screenshot some of these or keep them down or write them down, whatever. Make sure you know. Of course, this is going to go out too in future stuff, but I have to address this shortly because I'm having some technical difficulties that I'm going to talk about now. So flotation passes are on sale. LaDonna, is there a special link to buy the flotation pass? I registered last week. Yes, there is. There is just one problem right now. So on Friday, my phone experienced a massive SIM failure. I have an iPhone. In a very long and convoluted story, part of the problem right now is I tried to log in today to MailChimp, which is our server, so I could get an email started for sponsors, so I could get an email started for everybody, right? But of course, they're asking for two-step authentication, and my phone number doesn't work anymore. So I had to put an email in and say, hey guys, I've got a problem here. How do I do this? And I'm still waiting for someone to get back to me on how to re-log in. I do want to remind everybody once again that we are still looking for suggestions for this year's Fulcrum panel discussions at Float. For those of you that are unaware, Fulcrum is a separate event that we have alternating in between conventions. So Float is every 2 years, 26 and 28. Fulcrum will be 27 and 29. just like it was in 25 when it was held in St. Louis. But I did I did allude to this a couple of times now for the last couple of weeks, and I mean everything that I'm saying here. Fulcrum is moving. We are going to leave St. Louis and we are going to go to another city. I currently have our headhunter working on that for us now, and we will be announcing the location for Fulcrum at Float 2026. So hang tight for that. Also, I want to remind everybody, if you're watching this video, if you are someone who has an item or service to sell to other balloon people and you'd like to get in front of the biggest audience you possibly can, well, guess what? Float has sponsorships available for you. We've got decor sponsorships. We've got event sponsorships. We've got sponsored sessions available. We got t-shirt stuff. We still got one spot left on the t-shirt. We've got all kinds of things. Tote bags just came back online. However, I do want to share with everybody that we got ourselves a brand new vendor coming to Float. Very excited about this. And it was something that I had never thought about. I would like to take a moment to thank and welcome our new friends at Uniforms and More that are coming to Float 2026. They are going to be there with specialty footwear for people like us who are on their feet all damn day long. Okay, so there is that. Let's talk about Aloft. I don't have much to say about Aloft, unfortunately. For those of you that aren't aware, Aloft is our 24-hour streaming service. This week seems to be the week of empty promises. I hate to say this. So I don't have the class from September ready yet. Mind you, I still have a couple days on a grace period to go on that because I have until October 10th. But unfortunately, again, as busy as we were last week, I never got a chance to do that. I also never got a chance to edit down the podcast episode, so that's not been uploaded yet either. So it is my hope that we can have both of these up and running for you this week. No problem at all. Also, empty promises. Our instructor for October has bailed. So with that being said, I am currently in the works of trying to get us a teacher. So please bear with me. I hope to have the actual date and I hope to have the actual instructor announced for you by this time next week. So I do apologize for not having that for you in advance. All right, folks. So with that being said, it is time to get to what we like to refer to as the street level content here in the Floativerse. Let's talk about today's Step Chat survey. Today was a question. This is a question that I have been wanting to ask in all sincerity to the industry in general for a very long time. How do you best describe your relationship to your business versus your personal revenue? In other words, are you like me? Are you entirely financially dependent, you or your family, entirely dependent upon your balloon business and the money that you make from it? Are you mostly dependent on the balloon business money, but you've got another job or you've got other side hustles you're doing to make extra money to make ends meet? Do you work a job and do the balloon business and the job pays most of your bills? Are you exclusively full-time balloons, but you have a spouse that's bringing in considerable revenue, right? These are all questions that I've been wanting to get answers to. So today I decided to throw it out there and see what happened. The number one that you can see here on the screen of the results that we did receive, my balloon business is my sole source of income, but I have a spouse who brings in another primary source of income larger than mine. That means at the end of the day, your revenue coming in for your business, while important, is you are not contingent upon it. Well, I guess that's not really fair either, because if your spouse doesn't make enough money for the entire household, then obviously you are contingent upon it. But that's, in other words, let me explain what I mean by this. There are a lot of people in the balloon industry that I won't take any job for less than $1,000. Or they'll sit there or they'll be overly critical of clients, or they'll be, I didn't want to deal with them. They're too much of a problem. They're too much of this. They're too much of that. This is clearly not the conversation that someone who is solely dependent upon their money would have. And that's kind of what I was getting at, right? That's kind of the point that I wanted to make. Now, I'm not suggesting that any of the people that answered this, that's what they act. That's not what I'm saying at all. And I don't even know who said it, so that's fine. I'm saying that when you go on Instagram and you see these, you see some of these balloon divas that are like, and I'm not even, again, I shouldn't even say that because there's a company, Balloon Divas, and I'm not even talking about them either. So that's not it. You see some of these folks that go out on Instagram and they talk about how I won't take a job for any less than this, or I want this and that. That's because they're probably not dependent upon the revenue coming in the door. I mean, is it a guarantee? No, but that's pretty safe to say. The second highest category is my balloon business is my sole source of income and I survive on what I make. But here's the thing. I know a couple people that answered yes in here have spouses. So does the spouse not work? I don't know. But I know for a fact that a couple people, the spouses have jobs. So that seems to be that would be in a different category. So I want to take this time to thank everybody for responding to the survey. Once again, I do want to remind everybody, and some of you may even be watching this replay right now. Float is on YouTube at youtube.com/@thefloativerse. So very excited about that. We would love it if you would subscribe if you're a YouTube user. Please like our posts. Please share them with other people that you might think that find them interesting. That would be very, very helpful to help us drive engagement. Also want to remind you of the Step Chat schedule. Obviously, we're doing the live broadcast right now here on Facebook. Tomorrow, the full episode will be uploaded to the YouTube channel. And then on Tuesday, no reason in the world why I shouldn't be able to have a summary episode ready to go for you on Tuesday. The summary episode is, of course, the abbreviated version. However, if the general episode is half an hour long or less, then there is no summary. There won't be a summary. Now, tonight's episode is already going at 45 minutes, which means there will be a summary episode posted on Tuesday. So there is that. I do want to remind everybody that this coming Tuesday is our special episode of Kicking Back with Lisa Mack International Style. Once a month, Lisa is kind enough to reschedule her show, which is like a virtual happy hour. She reschedules the show in the morning time and early afternoon so that folks from overseas can get on the call and it not be 3:00 in the morning their time. The first hour of the show is broadcast live right here on the Facebook page. You can get the link by being a member of the Facebook group. Lisa posts the link there because that group is private. But of course, you can always reach out to Lisa too during the show and say, hey, I really want to be on the call. And then we can have you join us and everything else. Then after that, the show goes into what's called after party mode, which is where it's no longer broadcasting live. A lot of people don't even get on the call till then. But you're not done with Lisa after that, folks, because on Wednesday of this week, the Working Wonders return for the cost of marketing. So join Ronnie, Lisa, Debbie, and Crystal this coming Wednesday, October 8th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, and whatever the hell time it is where you are. That show will also be broadcasting right here on the Float Facebook page. So tune in. It's like The View, except a hell of a lot nicer. There's that. And with that being said, everybody, that will do it for tonight's slideshow presentation. Let's get to a question that was aired during the broadcast I didn't get a chance to respond to yet. Denise Seymour, did you say they are discounting premium rooms? So when you click on the link for the hotels for Float, when you click on that link, it will take you to the standard room and then it takes you to premium suites. Those are discounted rates for the suites. They're not offering a different price point, if that makes any sense. Roseanne, here we go. I missed last week. Did anything get announced about the floaty entries? No, not yet. Floaty, we'll be talking about floaty stuff later this month. Oh, by the way, that reminds me. I've not done the October calendar yet, and I do apologize. And again, part of this is because I've been ridiculously goddamn busy. So the October calendar will get posted tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow, if not tomorrow, it'll get posted on Tuesday, either way. And we'll have the Step Chat episode scheduled, but we got to get all the stuff to the competition people to review it. So there's that. That's part of the reason too. Folks, with that being said, I think it's safe to say we are good to go. So thank you all very much for joining me once again. I can't say this enough, how much I appreciate the fact that you will take time out of your lives to spend it with me every week. Thank you very much for being here. I really, really mean it. It means I actually do look forward to these shows every week. So I really appreciate the fact that many of you take the time to actually tune in and join me live and interact and all that fun stuff. So thank you. I really appreciate you. We will see you all very, very soon. So in the meantime, stay busy or stay chill, but whatever you do, stay profitable, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.